Now see, here's another reason why I took that ceiling fan down. You know, could you put plastic around it and ball it up with plastic and put tape around it and stuff? Yeah, then you're fighting that the entire time. And now, you know, I had to get up in there to put sheetrock mud up there. I would have been fighting the blades for that. Then I'm going to prime it. And I'll have to get up there above the ceiling fan for that. And then 2 coats of finish paint. You know, it just wouldn't make sense to leave that ceiling fan there. So even though it took me a few minutes to take the ceiling fan down, I know it was the right thing to do. Now I'm glad I had the craft paper down. I just put that down over the top of the plastic. Remember, the plastic goes all the way from left to right, you know, underneath this. But I ran that, and then I swept it up this morning. See the whole pile. Let's get you over here, not where the light is. I've got the light on because it's at night. It's 8 o'clock. You see that whole pile of stuff? Yeah. I swept it all up over there. That way I didn't have to traipse through this. The floor still has it all over the place, but at least that got me to where I could kind of work around here. Then I can scrape that up with a dustpan and put it in a plastic bag or something and throw it away more easily than if this was just plastic. Can you imagine if it's just plastic, you try to sweep all that stuff up and you would start gouging into the plastic? Well, I didn't have to do that. Okay? So the craft paper comes through once again. Just a little bit more about the sheetrock mud and stuff. Remember, I had a couple places where the tape was loose. I had a piece of tape, paper tape, that was loose right in there. And I had some in a couple different areas up over in there, and I had some gouges on the ceiling and stuff, and just a few other areas that I wanted to dress up first. And I used the Quickset because when you use Quickset, it dries fast and it doesn't shrink. And once it dried, then I went over it with all-purpose general all-purpose joint compound, or all-purpose general joint compound, or what have you, okay? And so if I would have just used regular sheetrock mud, here's the point I'm trying to get at. If I would have used just regular sheetrock mud, the wet joint compound mud for the tape, to fix the tape, then I couldn't really go over it until it was dry, and because it shrinks. As it's drying, it shrinks, and then it cracks a little bit and shrinks. And you think it's smooth, and you turn around and start painting, you think, oh, what happened here and what happened over there? Well, that's because the sheetrock mud shrank and you didn't put another coat over it. Well, I didn't have to do that here. I used a Quickset in different areas, and then I coated that with the all-purpose joint compound after that. You can't just put Quickset up there. I was tempted to put some Quickset on some of these sheetrock nail lines, but I didn't do it. I used regular all-purpose joint compound on those because, you know, Quickset you can get almost as smooth as a baby's butt. All right? Almost, but it doesn't accept the paint like regular sheetrock mud. You'll see every patch with Quickset up there if you don't cover it. Like, see those little spots there where sheetrock paper was showing right there. It got, you know, when I sprayed up there, I can only do it as good as I can. You know, your ceiling's going to get wet when you put your water up there, and then sometimes as you gouge in, some of your paper on your drywall might come loose. So in order to fix that, I put Quickset. Now once that dried, then I coated that with the all-purpose joint compound. You've got to remember to do stuff like that, okay? If you leave just Quickset all by itself up there and you think, oh, it's just as smooth as everywhere else, that's no problem, I can just do that. I don't want to put the all-purpose joint compound on there. I want to get going on this. Well, guess what? I'll show you every single little patch on the ceiling where you use the Quickset. Because after you paint, they're going to show up like a sore thumb. That's just what happens with quickset. Quickset is only used as an underlayment, okay? And lots of times you'll see that I've used that for webbing tape, the first coat of tape, and topping, and then after that, then I top it and skim it with all-purpose joint compound. That's the wet sheetrock mud that shrinks, okay? So that's how you use quickset. Use that for your underlayments, and especially when you're doing patches. That's why I like to use quickset on my patches, because I can do the first 2 coats with quickset, and then it will dry in enough time that I can put my all-purpose joint compound over there, and I can do a patch in 1 day. You do it all with all-purpose joint compound, it may take you 3 days to do your patch, because each coat has to dry all the way, or else it shrinks in between coats as it's drying. And you've got to let it dry fully before you put the next coat on and the next coat. You know what I mean? That's why I use quickset, and that's why you should use it too. I sweated like a big dog today, and you know what? There's nothing more satisfying as a shower after you just sweat your butt off. Oh, that felt so good. And you know, hey, well, that's all I got time for, but I'll be back with more videos.